The views and opinions
and otherwise wisecrack remarks
in this podcast
are solely those
of our highly caffeinated hosts.
They do not represent the opinions
of Fairchild Air Force Base leadership,
the 92nd Public Affairs Office,
or the United States Air Force.
Any reference to commercial products, companies, or services does not imply federal endorsement.
You've been warned.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Come on, here comes the Ready or Not.
Welcome to the Boom. I'm Staff Sgt. DJ Ayres with my co-host,
Senior Airman Corrine Jones.
It is November 21st. It's almost Turkey Day.
Yes, almost Turkey Day. We had our very own little pre-Turkey Day here today in our wing headquarters, so if we're a little slow, forgive us. We've got full warm bellies, totally happy.
Even though there was no actual turkey, it was a lot of ham. I like ham, though.
Yeah, ham's good. I guess maybe people were like, no, I've got to save the turkey for the actual Thanksgiving. Everyone kind of brought out their own thing, and it was fun. Hopefully you guys maybe you're waiting for Thanksgiving, or maybe you guys are doing your own little thing pre-Thanksgiving with your family. Who knows? But hopefully you are enjoying it so far.
So let's get into this week's topics. We're going to talk a little about the A-10 Warthog, Los Angeles Air Force Base, and going green with those guys. The Defense Department's going to reduce the use of live animals for medical training, so I guess those PETA folks finally got to them. And much more, to include things for those gamers deployed downrange.
Yes, and getting into the holiday spirit right here in Spokane.
There's a lot going on, and we'll also talk about the month of the military family, which is November.
Yes, indeed. So make sure you keep on listening in. The next 15 to 20 minutes are going to be super awesome, and you do not want to miss out. But first, we got to move on back to that debate the Air Force has been having for a few years now. The Warthog, the A-10.
Oh man, those are A-10s. Warthogs, baby.
So, Congress likes it, which is weird because I thought, hearing about the rumors, we're getting rid of the A-10, and I thought it was the Congress was telling the Air Force they need to cut down, and that was one of the things that they decided on. But no, it was the Air Force saying that we don't need A-10s anymore because they've got the F-35.
Congress is like, no, we need to keep it. So there's this whole kind of argument between Hill Air Force Base and Congress. They're bucking things out and trying to figure out what really are they going to do. Are we going to keep the A-10? Are we going to get rid of the A-10? Is the A-10 even relevant to today's Air Force anymore? Which, of course, the Air Force is saying, no, it's not.
Yet we're using them in Syria right now because, they're awesome machines. And if you've ever seen one, they're pretty menacing looking as well.
Yeah, I think if we can keep, B-52s around for 50, 60 years, we can keep the A-10s longer. As long as they're still running, we're not running into massive, expensive maintenance issues every quarter or anything like that with these planes. So I don't see a reason that we really need to be cutting them. But Congress apparently is agreeing with that. Not
to mention our Guard and Reserve bases are pretty big fans of the A-10 too.
So I'm interested to see what's going to be coming on in the future with that. Hill's not the only Air Force base having major changes coming up with their vehicles. So we're getting a, if you will.
Los Angeles Air Force Base unveils an all-electric vehicle fleet.
Which, if it was going to happen anywhere first, it would, of course, be crunchy, avocado-filled, I love quinoa, LA. And if you didn't know, fun fact of the day, it's not quinoa. Every time you see that word, that's what I want to say. Quinoa, bing, 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 now you know.
Why don't they just spell it right? It's not English originating, so of course half our English words aren't how they sound either. Aren't spelled how they sound.
Yeah, so Los Angeles Air Force Base, taking on the green initiative. Air Force is always trying to make everything as more energy efficient, just like we had Energy Awareness Month last month in October. So they've got 42 vehicles in their fleet now, made completely up of plug-in vehicles. So they've got also sedans, trucks, and one 12-passenger van. So hopefully they're not doing a lot of people moving out there at Los Angeles. But what the really cool thing about this is that all the vehicles can get power from the grid, But they're also giving back power to the electrical grid when they're not being driven. So they plug them back in, and when parked and plugged in, they're providing more than 700 kilowatts of energy back to the grid every year, which is enough power for about 140 homes, according to the Air Force. So that's pretty cool.
This is taking a big chunk out of their fuel costs.
Yeah, they're also looking at increasing the use of alternative fuels in other vehicles as well, expanding the more than 9,000 ethanol vehicles already in the Air Force's inventory and the more than 50 biodiesel fuel stations on installations. But they're also looking to expand these all-electric vehicle fleets as well to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland and Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst in New Jersey.
What happens when we get all electric with all our vehicles? Would we refuel or just have a really big battery and like hang a plug out the window and say plug in for a bit and get juiced up?
Yeah, I mean, and then what happens when, say, there's an extended power outage or something? I think that's something I'm sure they've thought about in their planning. Maybe keep that a backup couple of hybrids that can still run off gas and things as well.
Yeah, that is the great thing about gas is that, you know, it does go bad eventually, but it's...
Definitely takes a while.
Yeah.
So great things happening out at Los Angeles Air Force Base.
That's great that LA is definitely taking a stance helping the environment. But the Department of Defense, they care about the environment as well when it comes to live animals and medical training.
New policies coming down with the DoD. The Pentagon is going to be scaling back the use of live animals in medical training starting the 1st of 2015, so the 1st of January. Instead, they're going to be moving to using simulators and other models like they do when we have like an exercise. We've got the people that go out there, you're playing today, you're going to be wounded. They'll do stuff like that for other types, but the key areas of training and education that are going to be changing now are going to be advanced trauma life support, neonatal resuscitation, obstetrics, women's health, and other areas where they're so used to using live tissue in order to do their training. It's going to be moving into other ways. Of course, this is coming down, like Sergeant Ayres said earlier, for people of ethical treatment of animals, also known as PETA.
PETA.
PETA Griffin. Sorry. They're trying to get, the halt all training that results in harm or death to some of the animals that the DoD uses. And before I learned about this, I didn't even know that we use, the normal goats, pigs, monkeys, rabbits, but also chickens and a bunch of other different animals that get used as well. So these are going to be being cut back, which is good for the animals, of course. The policy has been in place since 2011 to use live animals only when alternatives like mannequins, actors, simulators, or cadavers could not provide the necessary training for proficiency. So we're definitely going to be seeing some changes with that. If you're in the medical field, be prepared that you're going to be seeing a lot less barnyard and a lot more, biomechanical.
Yeah, they were using animals to test like the effects of nerve gas, and it was really using these animals to save people, and without having to do human trials on things. They're using upwards of 8,500 animals a year.
So that's definitely going to be cut back, and I'm a big animal person. I'm not vegetarian. I don't, lobby against people that use animals, but I think that this is a really big step for the DoD. I'm happy that this is a change that's coming down. As long as it doesn't have a negative impact on our mission readiness, then I think it's a really good thing. So this new policy is providing, a new lease on life, a twist of fate for these animals that were raised and purchased for animal testing. But that's not the only twist of fate out there, and TLC wants to hear about yours.
The Learning Channel, also known as TLC, wants to know about your military miracles. Did you deploy and, somehow evade danger? Did a mortar possibly hit, 20 feet beyond you, or, well, probably further than that to not harm you? But
it didn't explode.
Or, yeah, maybe it was a dud. Maybe something happened, or maybe your friend's like, you know what, we're not going to meet at this place today, while you're deployed, and that place got bombed, or something crazy like that. Did that happen to you?
So pretty much these, these awesome inspirational stories of survival, they want to hear it from a military perspective, which isn't a story that's told very often.
So I don't know if you remember, there was a show, I guess it was about 10 years ago now, it seems like a while, Touched by an Angel. It was Roma Downey was the angel lady on that show, helping people out. Well, she is a big part of this new show that they're trying to drum up.
Yeah, she's actually going to be the host of the show. Her husband, Mark Burnett, is actually the owner of Lightworkers Media, which is who's working with TLC to put this show together. And if those names sound familiar at all, they were the ones that put together producing the Bible miniseries that was super, big and popular about a year ago, last year, for the History Channel. So definitely going to be really interesting to see how they do this. They've got so much experience in working with television and putting together miniseries. And this is going to be just a miniseries, not a regular TV show starting. So about 6 hours in 1 hour intervals starting in late 2015. So you got time to get your story told on TLC.
If you want more information, or say you want to submit your own story about an answered prayer or divine intervention, just go to www.lightworkersmedia.com and share your story. Let them know what happened to you, and who knows?
Maybe you'll be on TV and you can all be like, hey, I heard this on the boom, and then we all get famous.
If you do get contacted and they say you want to be on the show, you need to contact Public Affairs and go through the right channels and make sure that you're briefed and know the right thing to do, and so you don't say something stupid or make the Air Force look bad or make yourself look bad.
So we're sitting here talking about military miracles, and I'm thinking, what would be a miracle to me if I was deployed downrange at a FOB, don't have anything to do, my Kindle's just been, hit by a rock and it's dead, and out of the sky comes this beautiful crate full of video games. Yes, it's this awesome program called Operation Supply Drop, and it's all thanks to one veteran.
So this former Army captain, Stephen Machuga, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, not exactly, but he was talking about how when he was deployed, he received a crate of goods from someone, back in America. It was these third-hand Harlequin romance novels.
The kind that your mom read.
Yeah, and I'm sure the library that sent it meant well when they sent the books, but these guys just use it as target practice.
As he says, what's a bunch of infantrymen supposed to do with these books?
So what age group makes up the majority of the military? 18 to 26. What demographic covers video games? 18 to 26. Coincidence? I think not. So Operation Supply Drop sends these crates of video games and peripherals and things that go with video games, from shirts and this and that people donate to troops downrange.
Yeah, you'll typically see like a console, very important if you want to actually play the game. 2 to 4 controllers, a plethora of different games as well. I can't imagine it would be like mini Christmas every time you got one of these boxes.
And it helps the whole unit. Everybody can play a video game, whether it be 2 guys after a mission coming and sitting down and playing Madden, or maybe Call of Duty. Maybe they didn't get enough and they want to get back and play. But it's a good way to unwind after a really stressful situation, is to immerse yourself in video games.
Yeah, and it's actually proven to help soldiers, having that tactile hand-eye coordination, mental engagement. It's proved to help them with PTSD and stress, coping with stressful situations. So this is all around a totally awesome program for everyone involved.
So Machuga, who is now a DC-based government counterterrorism analyst at the Pentagon.
Yeah, because that's not awesome.
He, with his small team of volunteers, have delivered more than $1.5 million in gaming gear to more than 100 units around the world.
That is absolutely fantastic.
So if you want to give back, and if you're a gamer, you know how important it is. So go online, check out OperationSupplyDrop.org, donate some of your video games, or maybe donate some money so gamers downrange can get their fix too.
Or you can go online to OperationSupplyDrop.org and make a request for a unit that you know is deployed that would benefit from the video game drop.
So talking about service members that are deployed, the Airman and Family Readiness Center here on Fairchild has quite a few programs, and they're willing to help those families of deployed service members. I mean, it is the month of the military family in November.
Yeah, so all kinds of good things going on. If you are someone who happens to have a deployed spouse at the moment, you're probably aware of some of these things, but maybe say your spouse just got orders to deploy in 3 months and you're like, well, what am I going to do? Here are some things that you can do while they're gone. The A&FRC Hearts Apart Coffee Club, that's one. No, who doesn't like coffee? I don't trust those people. It's a weekly coffee talk. You've got treats, support, connection with other other people that are affected by a deployment. The children are welcome to come join you as well if you have them. Thursdays from 10 to 11:30 right here on Fairchild at the A&FRC building, 2365 in the Family Readiness Room. Maybe you're not for coffee, and if that case, I take back what I said about being distrustworthy. There's HeartLink, which is Fairchild Air Force Base's spouse orientation to the military. It's information regarding the Air Force mission, customs, traditions, protocol, also local resources and services, opportunities to meet other spouses, and all kinds of great information for those of you who are new to the military lifestyle. You can get more information for that and about that program by calling 247-2246.
Maybe you just got to Fairchild, maybe you're about to leave. Well, the A&FRC has a program called Childcare for PCS. They give 20 hours of free childcare per child for all active duty Air Force members, regardless of rank. Doesn't matter. If you need some time to pack, unpack, out process, in process, maybe you're house hunting, or maybe there's some briefings that you need to attend and you need some time away for your kids, or they'll watch them for you at the CDC on base. You just have to be within 60 days of PCS, whether you're getting here or leaving.
So you mentioned earlier that November is now the month of the military family. We've talked about things that you can do here at Fairchild with the A&FRC, but what about, some of our listeners listening in from other places? How can they appreciate and support their spouse and their family more during this special month?
So there's this great website. It's www.militaryonesource.mil. And they talk about all sorts of things to do with the military, from being a new parent in the military, finances, you name it, and it comes with the military family, they got you covered. But they have this article about 10 creative ways to show appreciation for military families. I thought it was really cool because, life is hard being in the military. It's hard on military members and their spouses and their families. So they have some good ideas about what you can do.
Yeah, and it's awesome. You don't even have to be part of a military family. Say you have got a friend. These are some things that you can do for them. It's mostly geared towards families, though. So you can take on a few of your partner's chores that they just hate. Say, you don't mind doing the dishes, but they were like, dishes, not a thing. So give a little unsolicited help. Don't ask. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't be like, look at me washing the dishes. Just go, take care of the chores for them to show your appreciation.
Let your partner sleep in on a Saturday.
I feel like that one's most important when you have kids. The kids wake up, it's Saturday, you're tired. You can get up with your kids and let, your wife or your husband sleep an extra hour or two.
And this isn't just to let the military members sleep in. Spouses take care of the children most of the time when the military member's at work, if they don't, have their own job. Or maybe both of you are working and, one takes a little more of the load than the other. Help them out.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing you can do, surprise them with a date, which I think is awesome because everyone needs date night every once in a while. Some things you can do to kind of make it sneaky. You fish around for information from your family and friends to see if there's something that your partner's been talking about to them or really wanting to do. And then you go do it. You go do something that they've been wanting to experience. And that's a great way to spend a day.
And this is where you single service members can help out maybe your married friends. Maybe you could say, hey, you guys have, had it rough. Then let me take your kids in for a night and you guys go out and have fun.
Yeah, definitely. Another easy things to do still with date night. Maybe you want to have a date night at home. Learn to cook your partner's favorite meal. Maybe you are not the best cook. That's why we have YouTube tutorials. They're awesome. They will help you, I promise. I think that's really cool. Breakfast in bed is always a great option as well.
And let's not forget military children. They take a brunt of the being away, that feeling of, mom or dad is deployed.
Or they're constantly moving every couple of years, making new friends every few years as well.
If you're deployed right now and you're listening to this, maybe send home some trinkets that are from the local area. Maybe you can find something that's, Afghani or whatever happens to be where you're at and send those things back. That stuff's neat. Kids dig it.
Yeah, that would be totally awesome. I would dig that. If you want to send something to me, that would be cool too.
Maybe you can plan a family fun day. Take a day of leave.
Plan a day date with your kids. That would be, not something that a lot of people think about. A family fun day. Take them out to the zoo. Go, learn to ride a bike. Or, hey, children's spa day. I've never had a mud mask that I didn't like. And I imagine if you've got, an 8-year-old kid, playing in a mud would probably be the highlight of their week. Let's be honest here. So definitely make them the center of attention for that day. Let them pick where you're going to go eat lunch. Let them pick what you're going to do. Anything you can do to make them realize and make them know that you love them and that they're very special to you.
If you're in Spokane, take them ice skating
Yes.
right now.
Ice skating, definitely.
There's lots of fun things to do out in the local area. I know it's cold now, but there's lots of things to do. Riverfront Park Ice Palace. They opened up on the 29th of October, and they'll stay open to the beginning of March. They're located at Riverfront Park. Ice skating's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's the perfect way to start getting into the holiday season. You're going to start seeing lights around base and lights around Spokane and all kinds of awesome things going on. Really, starting next week is where we're going to see a lot of the really special events happening around downtown Spokane.
Do you like Christmas lights?
Of course.
Is that your thing? Winter Glow Spectacular. And I've been here a little while, but I've never heard of this. Seems kind of neat. It's the premier holiday lighting festival. It's Riverfront Park, and they'll be kicking that off event on Friday, November 28th. And that'll be at 6:30 on Spokane Falls Boulevard. They have a route listed on their website. You can find them on their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Spokane Winter Glow.
If you're going to go out on the 28th for this awesome, lighting festival, maybe come out into the downtown area a little bit earlier, because also starting on the 28th, horse-drawn carriage rides, which is super awesome.
Hopefully this gets you excited about the holidays and all the cool events that are coming up. And on that note, we won't be here next Friday for the boom.
No, we won't. We will be off work enjoying our holiday Thanksgiving with our friends and family, and hopefully you guys will all be out there enjoying your holiday as well.
You can follow us on Facebook. You can check out our podcast on YouTube or iTunes. Maybe if you're at work, you can listen to us on fairchild.af.mil.
Yes, and make sure to come back and join us on December 5th for our next episode of
The Boom!